Icon this game, you don't want to be too greedy.
Sure. Well, we'll see how things get going here. What Lycan will end up building and which team will end up with the victory here. Again, battle currently of the two teams sitting in 5th place as your Pasha's classmate. Good luck.
Classmate?
But it wasn't. I'm not sure. That's what he said. It wasn't his classmate.
Who's the classmate? Who is he calling
Have
classmate?
fun, classmate. But who said it first? Classmate. I don't
Yeah,
know.
probably like just
Classmate.
some reference to because they started around the same time, so they are classmates.
Do you think so? They're like class of the same team? Maybe class of Coach March or something?
Possibly. They all started in the deep seas of the Mariana Trench in the SEA region.
I'm just glad that Cuckoo didn't say good luck, seatmates. You know, he's like, you guys pick 37A. See you there. It's not that desperate yet for either of these two teams, but Winter, we should say a 1-1 would be pretty bad. A draw here, both teams sitting at what, 1 and 4 would be pretty
Yeah, it basically
troublesome.
means they are holding each other's hand and sinking down the Mariana Trench.
Back down deep into the sea. That's not what they want to see here. Neither is it for the fans of the SEA region. They want to see Talon here rise above and finally deliver a much-needed win here for the region, right? Winter, talking about C as a whole, it is a region that has not seen a lot of success. And for C, that means we'll only end up seeing one team at EWC.
They're all behind Tundra right now, if you ask the SEA fans.
That's true. Well, you know, Team Tidebound is Malaysian, technically. That's a C team.
Yeah, but because Tundra is doing better, so you know the fans. Okay, this is back to the game right now. Tiny against DK. Kind of I guess the most boring lane in this game right now. The double melee brothers trying to just out CS and outlast hit each other. Can't really kill each other, so it's all about the last hitting. DK is just gonna use Breathe Fire, try to take away the damage from Tiny. Last hit, deny. And Tiny's gonna do the same.
Yeah, they're really going at it here. But so far, even. Top lane, you can see Scam getting some good work done with the laser level 1. Able to really use that to his advantage, giving vision for these early flat cannons. Looks like the strat is just push these early waves top to secure levels.
Yeah, I mean, just gyro things, right? When you get a flag at level 1, you just basically push out. They can't really pressure you because the wave is always bad on their side. And then you try to make the most of stacking and pulling the wave to deny creeps. But at the same time, I just feel like Sanking doesn't really mind this, you know? Because Sanking is like a weak laner. So when you do this, it means that you kind of guarantee Sanking to get creeps and levels.
First blood here for Hellscream. Pakaz here, he got fairly low, but he's still looking fairly healthy. Cuckoo missed on the dual breath here onto the Lycan, who will run back into the camp, and that'll be the death of him, but Cuckoo will die for it in the end. Kill does go back towards Pakaz.
Yeah, this lane I did not expect the Bristol to die first, you know. So well played, you know, from the Snapfire and the Lycan. Yeah, I guess with the buffs to Shredder, Snapfire kinda is a lot more stronger with the level 1 Shredder right now. That 5 damage is a lot. And what, extra 5% attack damage to it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the 730
so overall,
buff
how much do you get? So you get an extra 25 damage at level 1 plus the 5% base damage, which should be around 5%.
It's like an extra 3 damage right now.
5, 6. So actually around. So you should get approximately around 125 extra damage right now.
What? How are you? Oh, I see. Over the course of every
Yeah. You add everything together.
Yep.
So
yep.
100
times 5. Yeah. No, it's pretty decent.
It's actually pretty big for the lane.
I remember like Puppy and oh my goodness, Malady, who was at one point one of the highest ranked players in the world as a position 5, was always taking Little Shredder, like kind of maxing it in lane. We might start to see a little bit of return.
More than those, I think. When he was like,
it was a while ago.
6 hits, right? I think when he was 6. they nerf it to 5 attacks.
Yeah, and then I think they adjusted the armor stack or something like this, but you know, that's because the hero started getting played as a core, and Ice Frog didn't really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I remember that, you know, the Daedalus mid Snapfire.
Yeah, oh no,
everything
watch
late
out.
game.
Hide behind a tree. Snapfire is about to massacre the enemy team. And we don't really see too much of that anymore. But like you said, a death down bottom. Natsumi, he's back to CSing comfortably as we check in on our mid lane. How's it looking here? Fairly even, isn't it? In fact, dead even at the very moment.
Yeah, I mean, just what you expect.
Scam.
Top lane Scam is the one having fun here.
Yeah, he is. In fact, he has a laser.
Level 2 March.
Okay. Yeah, was maybe waiting for the level 2 March, but deciding to just harass.
Well done.
Oh, yeah.
It is so
Blocks
annoying
the
for the
camp.
Sanking. Every time we see a Sanking player so far this tournament, they're always struggling. In the
They
game,
are, but again, I think it's almost by design. This hero, to me, has always been one of the best heroes at recovery, and I think this is the way that you really have to shut him down. Because look at what it forces Jokum to do now. Jokum's like, I have to unblock this camp. I have to basically give Tomato this free top lane right now. You know? It's not enough to just kind of, you know, stack the camp and win your lanes. I think you have to do this kind of shenanigans here if you're playing into the Sanking, because he just recovers too easily. He just recovers too well.
Yeah, but what do you think of a man who steals someone else's stack, you know? It's once
Listen,
over
if he's
and does the deed, you know, does not care. Where are the morals? Where are the moral values, you know? 3 minutes, you know?
I don't know,
Have you seen
man.
like a support stealing an enemy stack minute 3?
Look, all I'm saying is that the names on the Aegis, they don't get written up there for best morals, all right? They get written for winning games, and sometimes if stealing stacks gets you the job, then that's what you got to do here, as there's an early rotation by Hellscream. We're just shy of the 6-minute point here for the Power Runes. That's forced Bakaz to TP out top, or bottom, sorry. He's got the Helm of the Iron Will. But even still, it's just too much damage.
So he'll be going the Helm. They'll be like grouping up very early with the Helm plus the Tinker with his aura items. So it's going to be very scary if they get to that timing relatively quickly. Yeah, on the other hand, you have Brister and Sanking, right? I think these two heroes are very good at dealing with pressure, defending towers. They both kind of function in a very similar way. So DK is like the true carry here. He's going to be getting a lot of farm priority.
I agree. And I think Sanking especially can excel at defending towers early on, but this is a very difficult lineup, I think, for him to try and defend into, particularly with the Snapfire and the Tinker to just kind of spam spells at him. He may end up struggling here a little bit. You can see Shopify very keen.
Good game to get a pipe, you know? So when they spam him, he has that barrier.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'd be right about that. Right now, he's seemingly going for the Vanguard into the phase boots as Yopaj activates that haste rune. I think it's just for the regen. He will not be ganking one of these side lanes at the moment. Oh, maybe I'm wrong, though. Seems like he'll be taking a trip into this left part of the map.
Is he on time with 10 seconds? Let's see.
Well, with the haste, he certainly
like
is.
He should be.
Well, US sees his man. There's no longer a sentry here for Shopify. Yopaj is going to have to let it go. I think they saw the TP there with the lane ward.
Very nice. They baited out 2 TPs, or they forced out 2 TPs, and they backed off. And these are things where I always tell you, you know, it's really difficult sometimes to run away when you think that you're in a strong position, but sometimes you just have to do it.
They still may be able to find a kill up here, as in trouble, and just dead is Jokum.
Can't get the box off, can't escape.
Oh wow, yeah, he's got box at 4. Sometimes you don't see that too much. Am I wrong? This clown build?
I think it's quite common. Like you have 2-1-1, or sometimes 1-1-2. You know, sometimes you see in certain lanes you want second point in your dagger or your impalement arts. Really depends on the lane. So that good gank there. At least the Tiny didn't really waste his time. Gets a kill, runs back to mid lane, goes for the 8-minute rune, wants to get his bottle refilled. And Cuckoo's here to ruin his day.
Oh. It's going to go for Makoto this time around. Last time Shopify got lucky and spawned the rune spawned, sorry, right in front of him. Let's see if Makoto can have any more luck now with this shield rune, starting to push this tier 1 tower mid lane slightly more. This is a team that also pushes pretty well, right? Between Cuckoo, the Liquid Fire, and of course Makoto.
The flying creatures taking down the buildings. Why not?
Despite being a blue dragon, is shooting poison. Doesn't look like Shopify will be able to defend this.
He has green wings.
What are you talking about?
Look at his wings.
It looks like Winter Wyvern.
Flapping.
It's literally
No,
Winter
it's
Wyvern,
green.
dude. What are you talking about? Are you colorblind?
No.
I'm not seeing the green.
I can tell you
there,
that's
my
a green.
friend.
Am I looking at a
Oh my
different color on my screen?
You must be. That's literally Winter Wyvern, man. Is Winter Wyvern green?
Okay, I'm looking at the PGM.
Unbelievable. He's blaming the PGM. I won't stand for it. I won't stand for it.
No,
that's
I'm not blaming the PGM. I'm just trying to look at the PGM if it looks the same on my Dota.
Shopify Rebellion. They're looking for some green, and they might find it. Here's some more stacks. They can steal those away, out from away the Sand King, away from this Dragon Knight. Maybe even find a kill on Natsumi. He's level 8, but they brought the numbers. Tomato through the Twin Gate here, setting up for the call down. It's great damage.
Oh, big one.
Dies before he can barely get off a spell, but WS finds a 2-man stun, trying to get this call down. A very nice Tame the Beast from Jokum before he dies. Is not going to be able to set up for anything, actually. They're all still alive. Pakaz still nipping at the heels of this Scorpion as that last stun comes through. Yopaj secures the kill. WS does take down Timata before he dies, but it's a triple kill for the mid-tiny.
Yeah, that was very, very good engage, for SL. But at the same time, I feel like Talon didn't really prepare for that move well. I think they kind of know something was happening because the Bristol was standing behind the tower. He was really defensive, kind of anticipating a move to come along his way. But they needed one more hero to TP to be ready, because they can't afford to have 3 heroes TPing now. Sure, the gang's coming, but you can't afford for everyone to just TP instead of one hero already ready, behind the Bristol. I think if they had one hero ready, that would have been an entirely different fight. Because they just did like the Power Rangers all TP down one by one and they all died.
Yep. Just a bit of a chain feed. They will at least still hear Talon be able to farm this small triple stack. It's pretty decent. Yopaj trying to run in here towards the tail end of it. Will be too late to steal the majority of them. Does get a few. 2 of the big ones.
That'll be annoying. Because the dagger was coming, for the Dragon Knight. But I said that I felt like maybe the DK could be more greedy this game. Maybe play more like a carry. But
like a Mask of Madness first kind of a thing?
Nah, just go Millstorm. But the more I look at the state of the game right now, because of what just happened, he needs to be getting a dagger so he can play with the support. So the Sand King TP down and died, so his game kind of got halted. Bristleback already died twice, so he doesn't really have the best start yet. But I mean, he's quite rich, in terms of net worth. Taller than that chart for the Radiant side for Talon.
It did take, kind of make that 4 heroes come into his lane to kind of kick him out, right? He is this sort of a safe laner,
but
right?
He died, so it kind of did its job at the end. If he didn't die, then I would say that, it's fine,
No, I mean, it's not fine, right? But he is at least, I don't know. He is one of those heroes, right? He's been enjoying the space up until that moment of time, which, as you say now, is ending. And the DK will need to start playing with some of these supports heavy around the Sand King, who also has his own Blink Dagger. WS trying to find an opportunity as they will try for Yopaj now. Activates the Invis Room, but they have a Sentry Ward down. Good cookie gets Yopaj out of the Macropire. This small barrier out from Scam is not enough to save him. There's simply too much damage with Pakaz joining the fight with the kisses raining down. Tomato giving chase. There's the escape act. Makoto TPing away. There's not a stun for him, but they eventually get their hands on that clown, and Natsumi, he's ran into this fight. Has a full Vanguard, though, so fairly tanky, actually, against all this physical damage. Will be able to survive. 2-for-1 exchange, then, at the end of the day, with 2 supports dying for the enemy mid. WS finding an opportunity earlier. Now goes in for the blink, as he's going to try and punish Hellscream, who tried to stick around for a little more damage onto the tower.
Just like what you would try to do as Jakiro. You think the fight is over, you try to get a hit onto the tower, and then you die, because the opponent is still ready there.
Here we go back the other way now. Small blink forward there from Makoto. Scam running on through. 1-3-1 build right now on the Tinker, but he's got his Holy Locket ready, so these healing bots are...
attempt, to go back in. I think the Bristol didn't really want to fight there anyway, but they're going to smoke up with the dagger. Still a couple, 10 seconds more, 15 seconds more on the DK farm.
Yeah, again, we still have that epicenter ready to use. There's going to be a stun onto the Tinker, tame the beast, ensures that they have the lockdown necessary for the kill. And down goes that tower. First tower that's Talon managed to get.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I guess for them right now, after getting this tower, they're going to be going back to focus on getting their items. I think there's going to be a couple of minutes of farming. You want to fight after you get the Aghanim's on the Bristle. I think that's your key timing. And DK is probably going to also be more focused on the scaling. He's going actually for Mage Slayer, so he actually still wants to play around their timing instead of like what I suggested, like you go to the Maelstrom and you farm until late game. So Talon wants to just keep the ball rolling. Here they have the timing with the Sand the double daggers with Sand and DK, and the Mage Slayer plus the Aghanim's on Bristle, just trying to take the fight towards the Rebellion side. Which they are also quite strong, with the auras, with the Tinker, March, the Helm of the Overlord and the Lycan, and then you have the Locket already done on the Tinker. They are all pretty durable.
They are. But so are Talon here. I want to highlight that we're going to see a second Vanguard here now. WS, he's about to get his completed. And of course, Natsumi has one already. So there'll be 2 Vanguards early on.
Yeah, Crimson Guard, very nice against the Lycan and the Gyro. This one. And 15 minutes, guess what? The Rebellion side already setting up for the Tormentor that's coming in. About to get tormented by SR.
It'll be killed pretty quickly here.
Just 1 point. Expected to see more points on the Shredders, but just 1 point.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
One single point.
I think you want to end up maxing your full bore this game. Hold on. We might have a little bit of a fight. WS is going to be scouted by the Observer Ward, but he's too fast on the draw. Shapeshift, tame the beast. He's looking at the Wheel of Wonder. The Snapfire Kisses able to bail him out as WS gets the escape act here to stay alive for a second longer. Another bow strike to get back to safety, but that's going to be the Ancient Thunder Hype giving him chase. And Pakaz, low on HP, able to just sick the beast on him. And sure, he gets 1 kill. Looking for a second now onto Jokum. The fear, not enough though, as they toss in the Snapfire to secure the kill. 2 kills for none as Shopify, they were ready. They were ready for Talon to fight.
Way too tanky on the Lycan. I mean, I feel like their jump in, if the Sand King doesn't epi and burrow in, they're not going to have enough damage to take down the Lycan. Maybe they just overestimated how much damage they had there. They thought that with the wheel and just a stun from the Sand King, they were able to kill the Lycan. But I mean, that guy is pretty tanky, 2k HP. With the March and with the Locket, he is very hard to kill,
Yeah, it's easy to underestimate that, right? You see his items. Oh, he's got 3.
Yeah, but you have to look at his team, right? Whenever you see a Tinker in the game, you're like, whenever you go for a kill, you have to just commit your spells, all in, you don't care.
Definitely.
You can't afford to be greedy.
No, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to try and measure that amount, but
and because they lost this fight and the DK is going Mage Slayer, so this is going to hurt their timing a lot. And now Natsumi.
Oh no!
They found
catch Natsumi. Should be fine. They do have a full Vessel online. Yopaj, he might have gone a bit too deep. Makoto, he's going to actually find a Hell Scream, but that allows Yopaj to TP away because the stun was reserved for the snap. Could have maybe been a kill there, I think, on the Tiny.
Probably should have gone for the core there instead of the support there. But yeah, I mean, Talon, they got 1 kill regardless, and they have to really rethink how they're going to approach this game. I think with the Mage Slayer and the Bristol going for a Blade Mail, it means it's like kind of like all in. I think you get the shot on the Bristol, and you have to just go fight right now.
Even without the Ags? Just with the Hairball on Bristol?
Yeah, just with the Hairball.
Okay.
I don't think you can wait for the Ags. It's just way too long. They have to find a move very, very soon. I mean, the more items that the Tinker's going to get, the fights are just going to get harder and harder, Because they don't really have like a very high amount of burst damage.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You're going to have this Ag Scepter online pretty quickly for the Gyro. Pakaz I say almost, he still needs the Relic, but he's actually going for this very early Nullifier. Like, these items are getting pretty scary.
Nullifier is early, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just ready for the Crimson and the Solar Crest. I guess mostly those 2.
Yeah,
get rid of it.
You can dispel box as well.
Oh yeah, and the box, forgot about that.
Scanning.
And Shopify, they will start up this Roche here. Minute and a half till he moves. Nope, just kidding. They're going to go for a fight. There's going to be the jump in. Nice initiation from Yopaj. The cookie out is now the call down, giving chase on a Natsumi. He gets thrown into the box, but with the cover of the BKB, Yamato just running them down. Kiss is not doing nearly enough as WS missed the stun onto Hellscream. Doesn't really matter though, still has enough damage with that epicenter active, but the team fight's falling apart behind him. A really good Wheel of Wonder. Can Makoto pump out the damage in time? He cannot. Nobody is dying. Tomato's still alive, fighting through them as Yopaj throws a tree at WS. Makoto and Joe come running for their lives as Yopaj dives the tower, crash landing, picks up the kill onto the DK, and it's only the Snapfire who dies, Winter.
Yeah, this is really, really bad, you know, because they went for all fighting items and they lost the fight. I mean, you see how much the Tinker's doing, you know, he's keeping everyone alive with the defense matrix, Lockets, you know, just keeping
Lasers.
the important heroes alive, you know.
Again.
It's very hard, you know. They don't have like a lot of bursts outside the Sand King epicenter, and everything is like you do damage slowly, right? And Tinker likes it when you're playing into fights and you're doing damage slowly. He just heals everything up, puts the barrier up, and yeah, guess what? You're going to have to commit so much that you're going to lose a lot of heroes, you know, just to even kill one guy. I mean, they got the kill on the Snapfire just because the Sand King had AD rune, you know, so he could just solo kill the Snapfire. But outside of that, they just didn't really do enough damage to kill any of the other heroes here.
Yeah. No, they didn't. They're just shy.
I mean, now you see why I was kind of expecting the DK to go greedy. Because I think that even with the Mage Slayer, they don't really have a very good early game, like a lot of damage timing, you know. And even if you go Maelstrom, you can still fight. Because once you get to the stage where you committed for the Mage Slayer and you don't win the fight, you're gonna affect your own farming a lot. Because you don't really farm fast on Mage Slayer. Sure, you can pop your dragon to clear some stacks, but this is going to hurt your scaling a lot. And SR, they smell blood in the water. They are coming with the smoke. They know that if they get another ball kill, 1 or 2 more kills on the Talon side, they're going to be able to push for a high ground.
And Makoto's just such a great catch, isn't he? Because running on in, Yopaj has more than enough control.
Yeah.
Another kill here for the Tiny, 7-1-5 right now in this game. Winter, speaking about this Dragon Knight, I'm wondering if, you know, considering the Tinker in this game, if maybe the Frost Dragon for the healing reduction was a viable choice instead, or do you think that Poison Dragon's too good mid?
For mid, I think Poison Dragon is just, in most cases, I think, the better one.
Okay.
So you can take towers. I mean, talking about taking towers, they have only killed 1 tower, you know, his own tower.
Exactly, I know, exactly. Oh, hold on. We are fighting WS. He's going to get tossed out of the base. A pretty good Macropire finds 2, and the stun's even better as he gets thrown into the box. Crimson Guard down, trying to keep him alive. The Kisses chasing after WS will finally pick him off. But a familiar sight here, Winter, as nobody gets any kills. Natsumi, maybe now he's got to adjust a hotkey here on Bristleback. Maybe that would have made a difference. Unfortunately, Shopify Rebellion, they won't even lose the Aegis, Winter. They won't even stop pushing. What do they have left to fight with? Yopaj continuing the fight. That's the nullifier already on Natsumi. Terrifying here. Call down, giving them space to retreat. And look, the Tinker, the March of the Machines, keeping them healed up. It is so difficult right now.
Crest for the next one. This Tinker is just like a heal bot, an insane heal bot. I mean, they're just not doing enough damage to get past all the barriers and the locket heals. It's just too difficult to kill a hero right now. And all they can do is try to go for pickoffs, but SR, they're not doing it. They're not splitting up. They're just grouping up together all the time and just sending the Tinker to the dangerous side.
Right, yeah. And that makes it very difficult, right? Because that's kind of what these global heroes do when you're winning. They make the map feel oppressive. Tinker, not the worst one probably to play against compared to like an NP or something, but you know, he keeps the waves pushed out.
Oh, Keeper of the Light is the worst, I tell you, right now. The recall faster.
But the effect is still the same, right? Shopify, they can just keep pushing. Right, Talon are getting Shopify'd as there's going to be another Avatos. Nearly gets the kill here onto Cuckoo. Still alive thanks to, I guess, the wand, basically.
I mean, thanks to the Tiny not tossing him forward, they toss him on the same place. I think if he got tossed forward, that was an easy kill. No way he gets out.
Still alive for now, for Cuckoo. Lives to fight another day.
I mean, they
Tier
finished
2's
the
in lead.
Axe on the Bristleback, so maybe they can use it to turn this fight around. They're slow.
Definitely.
They're waiting. They're
The
baiting
last fight.
Natsumi.
WS would love to find more heroes. Maybe this Gyro's not the greatest hero to go on. He still has a minute left of this Aegis and a BKB, but the Amplified Damage Rune running out. Yopaj finds the toss he's looking for. He's going to be stunned in return. They're going to focus their efforts onto the Tiny, but the Cookie allows him to avoid the Wheel of Wonder. And meanwhile, Pakaz, he's just in. He's 1v5 mode right now. Crimson Guard or not, he feels like he can just run into the enemy base, and perhaps, Winter, that was a mistake. He will finally be taken down. Makoto lands the killing blow and leaps ahead in net worth of Skem, who is getting dangerously close to overtaking the enemy mid.
Yeah, that was indeed a step too far, you know, to put it mildly. But like, just like some kid, you know, running away from the parent when they're in the circus. And they're gonna get a serious
Yopaj,
talking.
speaking of the circus, finds a clown and can't get him though. Can't get him. And all of a sudden, Yopaj finds himself in a little bit too deep. He doesn't have the BKB. He does have a Cookie, but still finds himself stunned by the Ice Path as Natsumi gives chase. They're taking down the Tiny. They want to try and find something more. Can we get anything left? Tomato, this Aegis expiring in 15 seconds. He might not be the best target. Instead, WS looks for the stun onto Hellscream. It's pretty good, but look at all these barriers. The Glimmer Cape as well, just keeping Hellscream alive. They can't do any actual HP as damage.
Wow, that was a couple of sloppy plays there by SR, giving up those kills. I mean, the kill on the Lycan and the kill on the Tiny, it is huge, you know, still, you know. You don't want to give your opponents too much here, so they have to reset, get back into formation and get ready to push again. They are still way stronger than Talon. Now Talon needs time before they are Bristleback, and especially the DK, you know, they need to wait for the DK to get his level 18.
Right.
He needs the talents at 20. He's gonna need a Mjolnir at some point. There's so many items, you know, he needs. When he gets to that stage, I would say yes, Talon's gonna have enough damage.
Tell you what, though, Winter, this is a dangerous path for Shopify to go down, right? Not only is there a website, you know, dedicated to this team's former honor, but there is also their opponent here, SCA. They thrive in these kinds of crazy games, don't they? And not only because they have a clown on their team, they are being Jokum, right, the ringmaster. They're just, this is what SCA is great at.
Long battles, a lot of mistakes, and a lot of GGM please, but they still fight to the end. You know, that's the classic
Late
SCA.
game Dota. You know, earlier you said Talon that they can actually kind of get there. It's always the early to mid game transition that, you know, they kind of fall off in a little bit, but if they can get these items online, you know, more and more of them, and give themselves a better fighting chance. I don't know, Winter. I'm just saying there's a chance here for Talon.
It's just the DK items. I think Bristleback is already kind of like gotten everything he needs for the most part. He has the shot, he has the Agalims, the Blade Mail, the Halberd. I mean, the Sand King has Crimson and Shiva soon. I think that's as much as you get from those heroes, right? So the DK is the one that's going to be able to make a difference if he is allowed to get more farm. And SR, they're not going to sit down and just wait for the DK to farm, right? They are going to be able to pressure the high ground soon.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Actually, no, they're going to back off. Wait for, what are they waiting for?
Wait for Roche, right?
Okay, they're going to wait for Roche, but it's quite a long time. It could be a long time. It could be a couple of minutes for them to farm still, you know. I think they don't really need the Aegis to fight, you know. They can just smoke and just group up, let the Tinker clear out the rubbish farm and just go S4 and go fight. I don't think they're weak, you know, without the Aegis. I mean, Gyro has Satanic BKB. He is very, very strong.
I hear you, but I don't know. This is typically not how this team plays. I think they're going to try and play a little bit more safe. You know, both these two teams, especially at this stage of the tournament, Winter 0 and 4, trying to get their first win.
That is actually a very good point, because the state of the situation for them is like they can't afford to lose even one game right now, for the most part. So things like they tend to affect the players' mentality a lot. So they are very stretched out. They know they can't lose the game, so they tend to play a little bit more safe. So you get a lot of safer decisions like this.
Oh, agreed. I mean, and it adds up, right? When you are starting your second day, right, after going completely winless in your first day. Like, you just want to start off on the right foot. I mean, Winter, could you imagine not winning a single game in an entire tournament?
I mean, ask me about it. You can always ask me about it. I know you want to.
Listen, I was just saying, it's relevant to the conversation, okay? It's not Flame.
I'd rather get it over with. I know you really want to get there, you know. So how
It's
does
okay.
it feel to go 0 wins?
All I'm saying, Winter, is that I think I'm bringing it up in more clever ways now, okay?
Well, clever doesn't make you nice, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Winter. I'm sorry. I won't bring it up again.
Always complaining that I'm mean to you, and you do this to me, and then you ask, why? Why did I be so mean to you?
No, usually I ask you why Omni Knight.
No, Omni Knight's not in the meta.
No, I know. And he wasn't back when you picked it either.
I'll tell you the real reason. Because someone wanted to play that hero, and they kind of lost all hope.
Deep cut, man. Deep cut
Yeah.
for the true SCA fans right now is Talon. Kind of on their last leg, seemingly, in this first game, but Shopify Rebellion playing it oh so carefully, really slow sieging. At this point, Winter, we're halfway into this Roche guaranteed window. Shopify realizing that will go back and probably just focus on collecting this Aegis. But Talon have gotten basically 4 or 5 minutes of free farm at the moment, haven't they, Winter? There's now a 9-second BKB online for the Dragon Knight. There's a full Crimson Shiva's finished on the Sand King, and Natsumi basically kind of the same, but he's sitting on almost 3,000 gold with a fresh Heaven's Halberd. Here we go, though. Cuckoo trying to go for the D ward. He is going to get caught out and instantly killed off. Dead for just 45 seconds. That ought to be any contest at Roshan.
I mean, Roshan's is already spawning. He's here.
Yep.
They just need to check.
Maybe looking for more pickoffs here at the moment. It's Yopaj. He does find one. The BKB early out from Makoto. WS blinks in immediately. Has Burrow Strike. Has Epicenter ready to go. But who's going to be the first target? Talon, they might have just kited themselves out of the base
Natsumi.
here as the stuns.
Can the box save him?
Good on Natsumi. The box gets Natsumi away to safety. And that's Kisses down. But they've left the Ringmaster behind. WS letting loose here on the
Double
Epicenter.
buyback.
But there's just no follow-up. Double buybacks from the supports of Talon Esports. But they're just not going to find anything, Winter. They didn't even force the BKB of Tomato.
Nope. They are free to walk down the river and claim the prize, which is the big man, the Roshan. This is not looking good for Talon. They have to all in now, I think. They have to go to the Roshan and try and fight without the form, the dragon form. I mean, I don't know what else they can do.
Feels so bad
I mean,
here.
if they're just sitting in the base, they're just eventually gonna lose.
Natsumi, he does see Scam. Could be a nice jump here, but he just doesn't have the stuns nearby. And Roshan, in the meantime, will fall here to Shopify Rebellion. Second Aegis now for Tomato. As this time they will go pushing again. No tier 2 towers left for Talon Esports.
Is there anything left still, you know, in the Talon barracks at home right now? That is the question. They need to show some desire to fight still.
I don't know where it's going to come from here. I mean, I will say Natsumi's got a lot of money saved up at the moment. Okay, he can buy out for BKB now on the Bristleback. Whether that'll be make or break, I'm not sure, but that is something.
BKB on the Bristol, so what can he do? Can he actually just BKB and run in and kill someone? I feel like probably not.
No, it's going to be tough, right? They also caught Cuckoo outside the base. Tier 3 tower, barracks are
If you don't
falling now
have
down bottom.
a nullifier, I don't think you're killing anyone on the Talon side.
Makoto's building one, but he's so far away. Actually, he's like only 2,000 away, but that's really far at the moment.
Yep, 2,000
There
is
we go.
definitely very far when the opponent is
Dragon
taking a high
form.
ground.
Mato being hit back a little bit, but I mean, just look at all the barriers, man, and Scam to heal him right back up while the barriers providing the protection, just beating on these barracks. Talon finding it very difficult to find the opening that they are looking for. WS thinking about the epicenter, thinking about it as Natsumi trying to
They're
scare
going for
them off.
Tinker.
They're gonna look for the Tinker first. That's a good jump. Double BKB's committed. The Cookie to try and get him out of harm's way. WS is being absolutely bursted. The Wheel of Wonder does nothing as Tinker just cookied to safety essentially, and Talon once again being routed back into their base. Kisses coming on down. They're trying to find Natsumi with them. He's alive by 3 HP. The box saved him, but only for a second, and he will live. But they've still lost WS, Winter. And they did not get the Tinker.
Yeah, it was like saving Private Tinker. I think he got what, double 4-star?
Yeah,
everything, you know.
And just everything to toss back. Oh, Cuckoo down for the count. They did use Nullifier on him, though, as out comes the Glyph of Fortification. The multi-shot on the towers might be their best DPS. The best hope now for Talon as they hopelessly tried to defend against Shopify. The net worth lead is the item advantage, the heroes. It's just adding up to be too much now, Winter, as Tier 4 towers going down. There's the first. Second will soon follow, and Shopify moments away from securing this first game. Natsumi tossed out of position here, but once again back safe in the fountain. The call down out from Yamato just to give them cover. They've killed Jokum with the flak and just the call down. GG, it's over. Winter Talon, it will fall in game 1 to Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, very, very overall nicely executed timing lineup from SR with the auras from the Lycan and the Tinker, of course, and you have the magic damage from the Gyro, the Snapfire, and the Tiny, just coming all together, you know. Not the most cleanest game, but they got there, you know. In the end, they were able to dominate Talon for the most part. They kept them in their base because they couldn't fight at all. They couldn't do enough damage to break both very
You're just trying to make me feel better.
No. I mean, this is. I think these are just facts about their draft, right? They have very good side lanes. I think mid lane is probably gonna be not as good against.
Did you see what
the
Cuckoo
Storm.
says?
Beef with apple juice.
No,
Chicken or
Cuckoo
beef?
says chicken or beef. So, you know, that's what they say on the plane.
Oh,
Oh,
beef with
man.
apple juice.
Yeah,
You know,
Siopages.
I always go for the chicken. You know, if I get, I guess it depends on the airlines. Certain airline have better chicken or better beef. You know, you need to do your research beforehand.
I hear you. Well, what's nice, at least, Winter, is that there's no beef between these two teams. At least they're playing a nice hard game. They're playing their best. And, well, let's see here now how Talon will be able to perform in game 2. I don't want to cast it like they're facing elimination here, basically, Winter, but if they lose this game, they are fighting at best for 4th place. And things will be looking very difficult now with only 2 more series.
I mean, you'll be happy
play.
with 4th place if you started the first day 0-4.
100%. And we'll see here how they start the second game. As Jokami doesn't.
Oh,
He does
+1.
not get
Scam wants
the
his +1.
ward. He
Blood
does.
grenade.
Scam really wants it. Blood grenade thrown.
Brain
They have
drain.
another static slide, but they can't catch him. They can't catch him.
Alright, he got out with his life somehow. So runes will be 2 apiece.
Chicken.
Alright,
or
so the
beef
laning phase is going to be
brutal.
very, very important for Talon here, since they have the weaker team fight and they're going to be relying on winning the lanes and dodging around the map to get pickoffs. And we'll see how it plays out. Which lane are they going to be able to do well in, you know, which of the side lanes, or even both of them, you know, potentially. Bot lane is probably harder for them to do well, you know. The Magnus Wind Ranger, even though they're strong, but the Silencer and Wraith King, they can kind of hold their own in this lane. Yeah, as long as you get the double arcane curse, you know, in this lane.
Yeah. I was just thinking about the strength of the Silencer. I mean, he just famously does a ton of damage, right? But he's also one of those heroes where you can get on top of him, or sometimes just, you know, a good positioning. You might be able to outplay him here. I'm wondering if this Windrunner is that kind of a hero. Although Jokum was kind of forced into taking Windrun at level 1. I'm sure that doesn't really help him here in this kind of a start.
It's not too bad. But yeah, most of the time I think you would prefer the power shot. 170 damage nuke. I always like to call it the best level 1 spell. But if you're a Pudge fan, you would always argue that the hook is the better level 1 spell.
Hook is pretty good though. Hook is pretty good. Illuminate's also pretty good too, though, I have to say. Not as good as a Recall,
you
but
must
that's not
consider
exactly.
the whole package, right? The range and how committal are some of the spells that you just mentioned.
Yeah,
Power shot
I
is
mean, look,
just nice,
185 damage AoE nuke compared to, what did you say, 180? 170 for
170.
a 1 second, channel. I hear you. As you can see, it get put to use down bottom.
Don't forget
again,
the
Scam.
slow, Richie. The slow
That's
is
right.
insane.
That's right. It has a slow. Oh, and Hellscream. Okay, so this is something we've always talked about, right? This kind of coddle. What do you do against when they stack and pull? And well, Hellscream, he decides he's just going to nuke the entire camp up here.
Yeah, even as Blinding Light and Illuminate, so no chakra.
No chakra. Yeah, interesting.
Gonna get it at level 3, I presume. You want to play very aggressive with this skill build. I mean, the thing is, if you use your mana and you don't get the kill, it's gonna be very taxing for the Koto.
It is. Okay, well, what else will we have here across our lanes? I'm eager to see how, like, the safe lane Bone Guard is going to end up working now for Tomato. Just seems like he's going to be able to push extremely early on, especially with the damage that Schem can output here. Just absolutely bullying these guys.
Yeah, Silencer's a pretty solid laner nowadays, Ever since they buffed the Arcane Curse. Arcane Curse is just like such a broken spell now. Especially when you get your talents at 10 and 15, you get the curse multiplier, especially the 15, the base duration increase and the penalty duration increase. You get to torment your enemies from global range, right? When you get your Aghanim's.
Right.
That's my favorite part about Silencer. And obviously the refresher. Every Silencer's dream to get the green orb plus the blue scepter.
At that point, the game becomes pretty fun, right? Because you just sit in the fountain and kind of move your camera to follow your team.
Sit in the fountain.
I mean, what else?
Okay,
You don't
I
need
would-
to be there. Oh, are you going to be a tourist or are you going to win the game?
I want to kill heroes, bro.
Sometimes the safest
it,
place
you
to
know,
be.
it was a thing a very long time ago when you're playing Silencer into Spectre. A very long time ago, you would just sit in your base and cast your ulti.
That's what I'm saying.
Not anymore.
Against
Gone are
it.
those days. You keep calling me old, but you're actually always looking back and thinking about Dota history,
That's
So
true.
I feel like you're older than me. You're more ancient
Well, that's
than
true. What do you mean? I'm not that old, dude. Wasn't it just like last year that Sumail and EG won TI? It wasn't that long ago, right? 10 years ago? Huh? Oh, God.
me. Yeah, which universe are you in? Earth 818?
No, I'm in AOE 2000's universe, man.
Which one?
The offlaner universe. That one.
Wow.
When Faceless Void and Clockwork, Of our offlaners. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
those were the times, Faces Void off me.
The universe Chronos catching everyone just on the edge. Careful here. WS. Yeah, he's going to have to arcane or trigger the arcane curse. As he will skewer away to safety.
Yeah, I mean, things are not looking so good for WS in the bot lane. Wraith King is free farming. He's not really getting pressure, and he has a lot more CS than the Magnus. He's going to have to recover later,
Right.
but Mikoto, meanwhile, getting pressured.
Yep. Another zip there to safety.
already
Gets
level
out of
6.
range of the blood grenade. Well timed there. Makoto not quite at level 6 himself, though.
He's praying for the green rune. Please, Gaben. Nope, not going to take his chance. Walks back to base.
So it's up to the supports then. Shopify, they will be outnumbered here briefly. Makoto still not up to level 6 as the illusion rune spawns down bottom. Scam was about to deny it, so force Jokum to pick it up. But there's going to be level 6 for Makoto. He leaves a remnant in the lane, and he'll be right back full HP and bottle charges. Mid lane then, Winter, how would we kind of wrap this up? I know it's still kind of ongoing. 33 and 8 to the 28 and 2, so a small lead for Yopaj. He got level 6 earlier as well, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. A little bit more denies, I guess. 8 denies on Storm. Ember has 2. So that's the main reason why. I mean, both of them are more focused on the economy game. Storm has 3 points in Remnant now, so just wants to farm some stacks. Koto also wants some levels, so they're both gonna benefits. And 7 minutes gonna come. They're gonna pick up their shrines.
That's right.
So it's gonna
Shrine
be
time.
a quiet couple of minutes.
Yeah, so far lanes haven't really broken down all too much, have they?
Yeah, that is going to, I guess, benefit. Who does it benefit more? Actually, it benefits SR more because they have the stronger team fight, and arguably, Talon has more to lose if they don't do well in the lanes. So I think this is
Right.
better for SR right now. A quiet night is always nice when you have the bigger team fight.
That's true. Natsumi off into the jungle here already. He's got level 6 and the pardon me, the God Strength here to get active and start farming some stacks. You think we'll start seeing more Sven? You know, like you say, these heroes that can actually farm the Ancients now that they've moved a bit around.
Yeah, possibly. I think Span is useful to enable a hero like AA, because when you talk about the carry pool, you also have to consider what is in the position 5 hero pool, right? Because they interact with each other a lot in the lane and in the game. So those are the things that you have to consider. When you have AA, it's always going to come down to CK, Span, Wraith King. Those are the classic ones. And the modern ones that have a stun will be Monkey King. I don't think I'm missing anyone else, right? I said everybody pretty much. Anyone with a stun to set up cold feet is just the best friend of AA.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I like CK a lot as well, just for the relocation,
Yeah,
right?
because you pull them in.
Mm-hmm.
If your AA and your lane partner is like something like a Medusa, you're gonna be like crying or morphling.
What do you mean?
You can't do anything in the lane.
Gorgon's grasp.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, I
Grasp
hear what
of
you're
nothing,
saying.
you know.
I think you fail to grasp the concept.
Okay.
WS is he's getting his butt kicked by these skeletons down here, actually.
What did I do
Just
to deserve all this fire from you, Richie, today? Have I not treated you well? I bought you 2 soft-boiled eggs.
No, I know, but I wanted chicken rice, and I didn't get it, therefore...
Yeah, but the eggs came from the chicken, you know.
That's not the same. What are you talking about? Oh, goodness. We are
Sometimes I
still
feel like
basically...
you're more Malaysian than me, you know.
What are you talking about, bro? Just because I eat kaya toast every
Talking about
morning?
chicken
Hold on,
rice.
Shopify Rebellion. They're running straight to Nuts and we finally have some action. 9 minutes into the game. Thank goodness. It's going to be first blood. 9 minutes and 19 seconds. That's got to be one of the latest first bloods
Yeah.
I have ever seen.
They're done waiting, you know. The patience has run out, and Mikoto, he's running in with a haste. I want one more. Oh,
Dire's top tower
He's almost
Ice
dead. I
Blast.
think they got him.
Can't eat the
Makoto,
lotus.
yeah. He will take him down. Very, very good counter initiation. They actually ended up using Stampede for that. Shopify Rebellion, their smoke gank does not work out as they ran face first into a Sven who was basically just all too eager to fight them briefly with the God Strength active.
Yep,
Nice
WS,
move there
RP.
on the haste rune.
He's going to get
Indeed,
a pick up.
he's got Scam.
Oh.
That is if he doesn't
Can he
die
run?
here. He's triggered the Arcane Curse. Oh no, Scam, he's still alive. The damage over time onto WS isn't enough to take him down as Makoto completes his TP to take the life out of Scam.
Yep. All of a sudden, 3-0 for Talon. Just what the Talon doctors ordered for them. This is going
The
to...
Talon Doctors, yes.
So this is going to put the supports at their level 6. So AA already has Ice Blast. Wind Ranger is level 5 still. So, I mean, not really the most impactful level 6 on a support like Wind Ranger, but it's still nice to have it.
Max Bone Guard for Timato here, by the way, so he is really starting to do a number of these towers. Just on cooldown now, recollecting, harvesting those bones. And he will quickly get back to work, but up top lane, there's another attempt here onto Pakaz. Ice Blast does connect. Cold Feet don't. Are they going to get him below this
One
threshold?
more.
He's a very
One more,
tanky
he's dead.
hero. Last auto
Oh.
attack, and he shatters. Cuckoo. We'll get that second kill then.
Yeah, a little too slow on the horse there with no boots. Sven just chase and run him down. I think it's
Will
looking
be.
pretty decent, you know, last couple minutes if you're a Talon fan.
bottom tower
And SR, they're trying to steal some stacks here, so Storm clear the stack.
is under attack.
And he has Chakra, he has Recall. Let's see how SR plays around this quarter. We saw a very, very insane, good quarter performance from was it Boxy yesterday? Yeah, it must have been him, you know. Like how they abused the
Yeah,
map
it
and
was.
Recall, spam the Chakra.
It was Darth Boxy on the Keeper of the Life. Good damage here into the Global Silence, catching Makoto off guard. Down he
Plus
goes.
one.
An easy pick off there.
That was
There's
the first one for the
brain
silencer.
drain.
He broke his
Indeed.
egg.
Dire's middle
What? It broke his egg?
Yeah, it was 0.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, you haven't heard that before? After all your
No,
years
bro.
in Malaysia?
Broke the egg. No, again, I don't like the soft-boiled eggs. I'm not a fan, right? I never break them. I say no, thank you. I send them back to the kitchen. I say I didn't order this.
Can you please cook it more, just like how you want your steak well done?
Oh,
Send
don't
the
say
steak
that.
back.
That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy.
Could you please finish cooking my meat? You know, I can't eat this when it's red.
Absolutely not. The only thing I like well done is my Phoenix Supernova eggs.
Radiant's middle tower
You don't even play that hero. Don't lie.
What are you talking about? Again, blasphemous. This is a mega stack being farmed over here by Shopify Rebellion. Would have been an opportune time here for Talon to invade the triangle. Instead, the smoke kind of aimlessly walking around. They still have a little
They're
bit
gonna
left of this
hit on the
amplified
center
damage.
though, here it looks like.
Okay, they still find
never mind.
something. The focus onto Skem. He gets absolutely blasted.
Deleted. Kill shotted.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And it looks like for Talon, it'll turn into a tier 1 tower then, even if they're unable to find some bigger
Before
kills
you
in the
go
triangle.
any further, I need to ask you an all-important question. Do you think Wind Ranger should have a stat how many kill shots
Hold
he
on,
has?
there's
Also,
an
wait a
RP.
minute.
They
Wait
pop
a
the coddle.
minute. Kill shot,
Hellstream,
okay,
he falls.
second kill shot. So do you think that Wind Ranger should have a stat on how many kill shots she's gotten per game?
Oh, you mean like a lion finger of death, like it gives a charge or something like that?
No, just like on the stats or whatever, you know. I mean, sure, you can give it a buff, you know. Make the hero even more imba.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? I mean, but who knows if it's going to keep being a thing in Dota, right? But why not? She's at 1 this game. We can keep count. Surely, unless Joker
I
gets...
said she's at 2.
Is she? But she only has
Yeah, I
one
was
kill. How can she...
counting 2.
But how can she have...
Oh,
How can two
yeah.
kill shots with
Yeah,
only
yeah,
one
right.
kill? Isn't that
An
assist
idiot.
shot? Is it called assist shot?
damn it, you got me.
I mean, come on, dude. Goop. He will be the target here of the scan because Yopaj snags up that invis rune. It was a smoke,
another
though,
plus
so
one.
Cuckoo breaking the smoke, and that is going to be the second brain drain in favor of Skem.
It's all about the plus ones, right? And the plus 3 later when you have your shot.
That's right.
A lot of things to keep check on, you know, this game. Brain drain, kill shots,
Kill shots.
and the galvanize.
The galvanize, there you go. The Centaur Ags, how many people he saves
Oh,
with the
nice
card.
dodge.
Careful here, careful here. Oh, the blink
Okay,
forward
never
from
mind.
Natsumi blows up Yopaj as they look for more. Makoto giving chase. Searing Chain's ready to go in 3 more seconds as he just leaps forward. Hellscream says, take Skem instead, as the blinding light puts the Ember right on top of him. Hellscream, it would avoid death here for a few more moments, but only just, as Talon Esports, they continue their run. 9-2 suddenly in the past 5 minutes. This game has really started looking up for them.
Yeah, they just gave away too many kills on the SR side, you know, a lot of like bad random deaths. And this has catapulted Talon into a very, very comfortable position at 15 minutes, 4k lead. I mean, Radiance is going to be done by Yamato or Timado.
Radiant's
So he is the, I feel like
Dire's top
he is
tower
going to be
is attacked.
having a lot of weight on his shoulders to turn this game around, you know, for his team. Ideally after he gets a dagger. Now he's still not that useful without a dagger. 15 minutes, Tormentor, the Tormy, Grave King. He's
Time.
going to start doing some work here.
Is under
Talon no, though. They're not too far away here, actually, and they're
Yeah.
already smoked up, but they don't have God's strength. Even still,
Oh, Scam
it'll be
breaks
enough
the
for
smoke.
Shopify to break the smoke as the global silence. Oh, sorry, that's not the global silence.
Alright,
Use Ice
Grave
Blast
King is not running
was
in
shot
without
in
dagger.
already.
Is he going to just
Auto.
run in?
Yeah, he's
Run
just
in.
running them down. Oh, a big zip in from Yopaj as Yamato
plus
lands the
2.
killing blow onto
Oh.
Jokum. There's going to be 2 more brain drain for Skem.
A couple more and he'll look like that villain in Batman. I can't. Oh, the Riddler.
The
Remember how he
Riddler.
like he made a contraption to steal knowledge? Is it too old for you?
Riddle me this, Winter. How can Windrunner have 2 charges on Power Shot on kill shot if it's not assist shot?
Because I said so.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But Tormentor eventually does go to exactly the hero Shopify wanted, as Hellscream has got his recall
What you mean
shard
they want
upgrade.
it on Koto? They want it on Silencer for the brain drain.
No, they do not. They do not want it on the Riddler.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Increased brain
I mean, not gonna lie, that is like one of my favorite villains.
The Riddler?
Of Batman. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Riddler. Riddler made
You're not a fan of the Joker?
Okay, you got me again. That. way
Okay,
too good.
well, it's just countered on the very first one.
Yeah. I mean, the Joker is like kind of hard to beat.
Yeah, it's kind of goated. I also think Raj Al Ghul is pretty cool as a Batman villain.
Dire's middle tower
Raj Al
is under
Ghul?
attack.
Mm-hmm.
Bane?
No.
Oh, his
my
teacher.
goodness, careful here. That's no kill shot here, but Scam, oh, trying to get the ward before he dies, will fail that, unfortunately, for himself.
Dire are scanning.
No brain drain,
Yeah,
but also
instead
no
of
kill shot.
Talon dodging, Talon's the one doing the hunting right now. So after
Yeah.
the good start in the early game, they are getting some good opportunities to hunt heroes down.
We might look for another one here, by the way. Hellscream, he's TP to the tier 2 tower. Make that Natsumi, sorry. They actually don't see where the Storm's farming at. Natsumi's been farming very comfortably behind everything here, hasn't he?
Yep, he
I mean-
is getting the space. This is what we call space created.
Especially
And
with
is
the
Sven
double
going
cleave.
to be able to
Oof.
use the space to win them the game? Only time will tell. This Kotal hasn't really started to come into play. He is going to come into play now. Spirit Farm popped. Gonna be doing a lot of recalling with his shard.
Yep. They've got a ward down, so they see where Natsumi's trying to farm at.
Yeah,
But
there
that's
is no
pretty
clear
deep on the
target.
enemy side of the map.
They don't have any deep wards to see any movements from Talon in the jungle yet. They're running top. They're going to get recalled, but Spirit Form is ending. So, probably have to rethink what they want to do here.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Getting
Yeah,
into a fight might not
Shopify.
be the best time.
Dire's middle tower.
That's true, but, you know, against the permanently empowered Magnus, against the Sven with double cleave, against this Ember who's farming fairly decently as well, are they not concerned with the scaling, or do you think the team fight, you know, having the team fight to back up Shopify in the late game, do you think they're pretty confident with that?
I think there would be like a point in the mid game where the Ember Sven Magnus trio with the Empower would overtake them. But when it comes down to like ultra late game, when you have Wraith King eggs and everything else, Refresher, Silencer, I would say that it's going to be better for them. You know, that's ultra late game. But
Gotcha.
normal late game, I think around 30-40 minutes. Yeah, I think you're probably right on the money there, where the Magnus, Sven, and the Ember is going to overpower them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just imagine that the gold advantage Natsumi on alone will be wielding is going to be pretty challenging for
They
Shopify.
are going to have to try to ride it out, right?
Hold
When
on.
the Sven is
They
that
see
bad.
Yamato. They actually hit him with the Syrian
he's
Chains.
alone.
Now the Bone Guard coming in a little bit too late, as
gonna
there
skill
is
his
no support
reincarnation?
here. Yamato,
Is he-
that's going to be his first
is
time
he-
losing his life.
Just must to
Didn't-
die.
Didn't have a level in it, yeah. Had a skill point, just didn't level it.
They want to waste it.
The
There's no
cooldown's so
backup
long
inbound.
anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no backup inbound, so he knows there is no help coming, and there's no way he could get out of that sticky situation alone.
Yeah, I
And
mean, it's
meanwhile,
honestly
SR,
looking-
they're planning a Wisdom Shrine steal. Koto is here, has his Spirit Form ready to pop, recall someone
Okay.
in.
Talon,
Recall
they're
two
nearby
heroes
as
in.
well.
Who is coming? Who are they dragging? The Centaur and the Silencer. Everyone's coming. The whole kampong, like you
Everyone's
said, is coming.
The whole Kampong is here to fight, and Jokam
surprise!
he is not receiving a very warm welcome. Ice Blast incoming, but the release is still available to pop. Natsumi pops the BKB. Ice Blast did whiff. Wisdom Shrine is going to be taken in the end by Hellscream, but it's a costly effort as they will trade Pakaz for Jokam. The inside
comes the
BKB
Wraith
was
King.
used by Natsumi.
Wraith King is here. Okay, fight's over. Sorry. I overhyped the potential of a fight, but then nothing happened.
Nothing excites Winter more than the downfall of an SEA team.
What? Hey, hey, hey.
Viewers,
Don't put me on the table, yeah?
Winter, I'm not only putting you on the table, I'm driving the bus. I'm driving you over the bus. No,
I
joking,
am
joking, of
exiting in
course.
the next stop. Sorry. Don't blame me.
Joking, of course.
Right,
Here,
scan
Talon.
lands. Natsumi knows. He's waiting for someone to walk up the high ground or a spirit to ball up the high ground. So, no hero is going to get caught, but a smoke is
counter
inbound.
smoke. Oh, Yopaj, he's going to get caught here.
Good reactions.
WS. So he's going to hold on to that RP. He knows that the BKB duration is just simply going to be too long. They likely will struggle to get the kill even with an Ice Blast and everything else. Instead, Hellscream, he may be a target. I think he's recalling someone to him? No, he was recalling away. I wish... I need to pay more attention to the animation there.
Do you think that there should be a different one if you're going to the teammate compared to when you're pulling someone to you? So that it's
I do
clearer,
think,
right? What's happening?
Yeah. Yeah, because like for example, if I see Coddle is like in the middle of my jungle under a ward and he's recalling himself away, I want to stun him, right? But if Coddle is calling someone to him, I might want to let him complete, the recall before I go in with the black hole or whatever, right? I do think there should be a different animation. I'm not sure if there is. Have you noticed? Is there a difference in the animation? I've played a lot of Coddle in the past week, ever since we casted the quals.
I mean, I don't play it here, but I don't feel like there is a difference.
Yeah,
but I think there should be a difference.
Radiant's bottom tower has
But
fallen.
Talon Winter, they're basically in the driver's seat here, aren't they? We're kind of getting into this mid-game area where,
Yep, they are driving
from what
the
we've
bus
seen,
right now.
they faltered a little bit more.
But if you don't do anything or you don't create a better or bigger advantage, then at some point you're gonna fall off, right, against this SR like super late game lineup.
Sure.
They are very, very strong late, very, very late. Roche is up, so it's time for them to build on the lead, get the Aegis onto... Who is going to hold the Aegis actually? Ember? No, Ember doesn't... Sven just... I mean, like we always say, transformation heroes probably the worst Aegis carriers.
Yeah, among them anyway. I'm not sure who they'll give this to. It's a good question. Scan from Shopify
Sven.
will let him know Talon are in the
Who's
middle of
making
this
a swap?
tent, but they will make no
It's
effort.
gonna be Cuckoo! Oh, okay, let's go.
It's gonna be... Stop it. Stop it. Don't get my hopes up.
Do we not agree that Cuckoo is the boss of this team?
He is not only the boss, he is Boss Ku. Hellscream. There's some recalls happening. He's recalling his team to him, if I'm not mistaken. No, again, I'm mistaken. It's just so confusing. I wish I
This is
could
why
tell.
we need a different animation.
Yeah, I agree.
When I say we, I mean the people watching the game, not the people playing the game.
No, the casters. They should let me know what's going to happen. I need to look smart in front of Twitch chat. It's my only goal in life.
Oh,
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And you,
attack.
Winter. I want to look smart in front of you, of course.
I appreciate you remembering your Malaysian friend.
Yes, of course. Shopify, they're actually going to smoke up here. They feel like they can take a fight because he's got Blink Pipe. They have Kaya and Sanj, rather, on the Storm Spirit alongside his 8-second BKB and a BKB on the Wraith King. Still no point committed into the reincarnation, by the way, for Yamato.
Oh, fight is going to happen. Sven is sleeping with the Aegis.
Natsumi, okay, he did pretty well there, actually. Didn't pop the BKB, so couldn't get that initial kill onto Tomato. Eventually, we'll get the job done, as there's 2 points immediately to reincarnation. The RP comes out pretty late, it felt like, but they got the kill onto Yopaj. What do
Here
they
comes
have
the
left
Santo,
for the
big
second life
stun.
here onto Tomato, though. Big stun from Pakaz. He finds 3, as the Sven will be respawning. What
Nice
is that
shackle.
shackle? What in the world was that angle? I have no question. We'll have to look at the replay there. Tomato, now on the second life, activates the BKB. Fighting versus Natsumi, who simply gets the Glimmer Cape and walks away. Now it's Makoto's time to shine. He jumps in the middle of the fight with the BKB active, and he's cutting down this Yamato Wraith King, who dies in the middle of an animation there. Down he goes. 2 cores down for Shopify Rebellion as the fight has broken apart. Talon Esports, they finally win themselves a team fight here.
They
Game number 2.
outlasted the Wraith King. But on top of like a really good initiation, right? They killed the Storm without the Storm being able to react and do anything. So 1 man down from the get-go. But the fight still kind of looked competitive, because the Wraith King with the reincarnation and everything else, he was doing quite a bit in the later portions of the fight. Big storm from Pakash, you know, catching 2 heroes and 1 BKB hero. So it was supposed to be a 3-hero storm, but just couldn't really finish them off, you know. Just imagine if the storm was alive, you know, then I think that fight would have been really good for SR, even though they were fighting into the Aegis of the Sven.
Yeah, Jokum, kind of an unsung hero in that fight too.
Yeah, the
Double
first one
hero
was a bit
shackles.
weird, right? How he landed that 2-man shackle. It was
The
a
first
bit,
one or the second
crazy.
one? It looked silly because of the skewer. That's why. It looks
Yep,
hold on, we're fighting in real time. Okay, they've just bursted
they're
down.
both gone.
Makaza's dead just like that, and Scam caught by the Rod of Atos, a triple kill for Natsumi. And Shopify Rebellion, that is no longer your jungle.
Yeah, this game has spiraled out of control right now for SR. A little bit too sloppy. I think for the last couple of minutes, giving away too many kills. I mean, I just felt like with the Red Kings ultimate down, they should not be in any position to play aggressive, right? I wonder why they tried to... I felt like the Storm and the Sandor kind of tried to go for a very dangerous play that they were going on the Wind Ranger. I mean, even if they killed Jokem, even if they killed him, they were gonna be dead, I felt. Nothing would change. So that was like a very, very bad decision, a dangerous decision, a risky play there. And now they are in a pretty big hole, Richie. 15k down, and Talon, let's say, in full control.
Oh my god, they can't even kill Jokum. He's just too tanky. Oh, spent so much mana there because he uses Stampede. Out comes the Global. They're still trying to take down this Windrunner, but they don't have detection. BKB committed. Yopaj wants this kill, but they've lost the Silencer behind, and now the rest of Talon coming back in. This is looking to be a huge 2-hero Ice Blast. It looks like Yopaj, he's barely avoided it, but it doesn't matter. Makoto jumps in. They've got the damage, and Natsumi able to get the kill on it because this game, I think it's just falling off a cliff. I think Talon, they are about to draw this series.
They are going down together, you know. Talon is like, nope, if we are going to sink down the Mariana Trench, we are taking you down as well, you know.
That's why Cuckoo said B for chicken. He knew. He did at the start of the game. He said B for chicken, man. He was asking what Shopify wanted. And I suppose Shopify, the NA team, have shorter flights.
Sure.
What do you think he could have possibly meant?
I don't know. I'm not in his mind.
Such a.
If I knew what he was thinking, I would have been their coach, you know.
That's fair enough, I guess. But instead, only March will know, apparently, what Cuckoo could have possibly meant. But he can be proud of his team here as they're up 21k just over 30 minutes in. Winter just under 30 minutes, actually. They are hitting their sharp timings. They've already deleted that top lane of Barracks. Makoto, he is very, very, very confident now with these remnants. See what more that they can get. There is no global here for 30 seconds. I mean, even Cuckoo is just farming in the mid lane.
Yeah, Cuckoo is like, nice. I had to farm, you know. I don't have to play Vandal to farm. Good job, guys.
True. Oh, D-ward attempt by Scam. It seems like it'll come at the cost of his own life as Natsumi gets on top of him.
That's a kill shot, Richie.
Number 2.
Was it number 3?
I'm not sure if it was number 3. I only remember this the other kill shot he found in the mid lane.
Oh well. Right now, SR, they're gonna need a lot of pick-off with this quarter to get themselves back into the game.
Jokum going hunting. Makoto's here as well. They might still find Yopaj. But Yamato's here as well. No, they're all just going to run. As I think they need to. Force that forward. Makoto, he's going to give chase. Recalls, trying to get them even a little bit further. As no Searing Chains was ready. They will be able to escape. Even the Ice Blast, the Illuminate.
What
a little bit of
happening?
breathing
The Kotal
room here.
flying around there. That was so confusing.
Yeah, he's just recalling to give people mana, reduce the cooldowns, you know. But Talon, they have managed to corral Shopify back in the base, and now without Stampede for another minute, could be an opening.
Yep, it is time to crush the sheep when you get them all herded into the base. Scam, the first target.
Yep. Another kill shot. No, it wasn't a kill shot. Natsumi got it. And there's just no one in the base. Shopify, they have abandoned the base at the moment, Winter. But they got to go back. I mean, this is going to be Vegas. It's just time to throw bodies here. You got buyback with the Global Silence ready to go, at least on Scam. Talon, they are willing to end this game here and now. They've hit their timings, and it is time for them to draw this series. Time for Talon to find their first win here at ESL One Raleigh. We'll see what Shopify can do now to attempt to prevent it. That's not a good start. Hellscream immediately killed as Natsumi beyond godlike as the final lane of Barracks fall. It is now Megas in addition, to the 25k net worth lead.
Oh well, what more can SR do here? They can only hope that Talon gives them some, early Christmas presents. They have to throw the game in a massive way to even have a chance for SR to come back. They need 20 minutes of farming on Wraith King, I think. The good news is the creeps are in front of his base, right? Just outside the door.
That's true. The bad news is that they're mega creeps, so they don't give as much gold, and even worse, oh my goodness, Natsumi is just beating into a pretty decent stun there, but he's dragged away from the base. He'll be respawning well outside of the high ground. Global Silence is going to come through as Yamato trying to beat into at least some of these supports. The two-man RP, though, they also get Yopaj. He's going to be in trouble. Oh, no. Oh, the fight, it's falling apart here, and GG well played is called. Talon Esports, they clean up in game 2. Shopify Rebellion and Talon, they will draw 1-1 at the potential elimination of both of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, good